Mirrorless by Prane. Nightmare Night, 2 hours to midnight.
Heavens, no! The gloominess of this place is literally making my mane tacky.
I said to myself as I was trying to pass underneath a rotten trunk. My name is Rarity, bearer of the element of generosity. I'm the most prominent fashion designer in Ponyville, possibly in all of Equestria. And I'm strolling through the Everfree Forest. Why would such a lady be here, you ask? Especially when all my friends are celebrating the Nightmare Night in the town, playing games and taking part in the festivities. It is because I have banished myself from Ponyville. Just for this night, of course. You see, I wanted my costume to be spectacular. I was still working on it an hour ago, when Twilight brought Princess Luna's carousel boutique, asking me to make the lady of the night less intimidating. I did a commendable job. Well, I might have slightly overdid it. Princess Luna tore the attire off. My pride was hurt, but it was nothing compared to Pinkie Pie and a bunch of fillies that stormed my boutique, shouting some ridiculousness about Nightmare Moon. Long story short, they trampled my beautiful costume, on which I've been so tirelessly working since last week. And because I simply couldn't dress up as an ordinary mummy or werepony, I decided to spend this night outside of Ponyville. Besides, I always wanted to venture into the Everfree Forest at night, alone. I couldn't really explain it, but that was that dose of excitement the girl like me wants to feel from time to time. Ever since I was here for the first time, I constantly felt as if the forest was calling my name. I didn't really know what I wanted to find here. I just let my instincts guide me.
I recognize this path.
I looked around.
Those trees are not scary at all, even without Pinky singing at them.
They were different, I had to admit. The bark was more reddish than brown, and branches were shooting out at odd angles, resembling claws of a timber wolf grasping a silvery moon. I had some trouble navigating through the forest, so I used magic to illuminate the path, scaring off a group of bats. Just when I walked out, I found myself by a river. There was, obviously, no bridges nearby. I wouldn't expect any gentle-coats to show up and carry me to the other side, so I went into the cold water. The river was calm, but it was easy to slip, so I proceeded with caution. Just as I was getting to the other side, I felt something slimy at my hooves.
Oh no!
I squeaked and jumped.
I have lost enough tails here.
I dashed forward towards the riverside, climbed up and turned around, only to see the calmness of the river. It was probably a fish, was it not? The Everfree Forest was full of wildlife, with some creatures more bizarre and dangerous than the others. But it was reasonable to expect fish in the river. Nothing dreadful to see here. Well, apart from the dust and mud ruining my hoofcure. I walked for several more minutes, then I saw it. The ancient castle of the royal pony sisters. After traveling for just about an hour, I was more than eager to have a break. The only thing between me and those strangely alluring ruins was an old wooden bridge hanging over a foggy chasm. I was reluctant at first, but it was the only way to the other side.
Step by step, crossing bridge as never.
I hummed to myself to reassure myself.
It's fine, you're halfway there, Rarity. Just don't look down!
I screamed. Ropes broke and I felt gravity pulling me down. Just before I was swallowed by the grey fog, I blamed Rainbow Dash my thoughts for not tying the ropes tightly enough. Nightmare Night, 1 hour to midnight.
Hello, are you alright, madam?
I slowly opened my eyes. At first everything was blurred and out of focus, including the silhouette of a pony running towards me.
It seems you're in distress. May I assist you?
The well-dressed, transparent stallion said. Wait, transparent? I screamed in terror, trying to crawl away.
You're a...
Why, yes, I am a ghost.
he stated.
But that does not absolve me of being a gentle colt.
I've never seen a ghost before. I read stories about them, but spending time with Twilight made me rather skeptical about such things. But I knew what I saw. A young earth pony stallion wearing an elegant yet old-fashioned tuxedo and a top hat. He had a very bright mane and tail, and was smiling gently. The only thing that made him different than, say, a cancel-out pony was that every piece of his body and attire was transparent, and had a bluish glow.
Yora,
I stopped for a while.
who are you?
Forgive me, where are my manners?
The stallion said, taking off his incorporeal hat.
I am Whitetail, at your service, Miss...
Rarity.
I answered anxiously, then stood up. Ghost or no ghost, it would be very impolite to run away now. Besides, he was handsome. For a ghost.
Rarity.
He repeated, then pointed his hoof up.
We're having a little banquet in the castle. Perhaps you would like to join us?
With pleasure.
I smiled, then joined at Whitetail's side.
Do you have a mirror? I need a mirror. My mane...
It looks fabulous, I assure you.
It was always nice to be complimented, even under such unusual circumstances. It occurred to me that I did not feel any pain associated with the fall. I must have luckily landed on those dry, crackling branches the bottom of the chasm was full of. Or maybe those were plants. I couldn't tell. The fog was so thick I was unable to see my own hooves, and only Whitetail's blue glow was guiding me out. We walked up the hill, and I was glad to finally emerge from the fog. The castle didn't change much since the last time I was here, or so I thought. Whitetail faced through wooden doors, but I had to use my magic to open them, and just when I did, I felt as if I had dived into the ocean. The room was not only full of incorporeal ponies, but also had decorations made of the same blue, glowing fabric resembling Whitetail's body. There were ghostly tables and chairs, musicians playing ethereal instruments, and servants holding immaterial plates of blue apples, oranges, and grapes. I could imagine how amazing this ballroom used to be. Everything these ghosts had recreated fit perfectly, for every shred of a physical tapestry or broken column, there was a glowing extension.
May I know what is the occasion?
I asked my companion, who was seeking for something in the crowd.
We are celebrating the defeat of Nightmare Moon.
He replied with a practiced smile.
Come, the Storyteller pony is about to begin his tale.
I followed Whitetail deeper into the ballroom and sat by the stage. I saw all the ponies getting up from the tables and gathering round. The musicians took their ghostly instruments and came down from the stage. Soon, a bearded pony had appeared in the place, and all murmuring subsided as he began his story.
Life is a cycle of day and night. Per minute of joy, there is one of fright. But for us ponies, the night came too soon. Come and hear the story of Nightmare Moon. She once was a ruler of a beautiful land. Whenever she went, she acted with gland, but whenever the right, it can soon become wrong, and wherever there is good, does not last for long. Nightmare has come and poisoned her heart, and from her sister it tore her apart. She vowed to bring the nighttime eternal and make our world cold and yet truly infernal. Her sister decided, Celestia her name, once and for all to stop all the pain. She took down her sibling with lots of tears and sent to the moon for 1,000 years. And this was the story. I shall end it soon. I'll rise and fall, Nightmare Moon. Join us and celebrate. Filly and foal, for now you are safe, and so is your soul.
Transparent ponies began to stomp their hooves in appreciation, and so did I.
That was beautiful!
I shouted to Whitetail, while the general cheering.
I already knew about the story about Princess Celestia and Nightmare Moon, but the way he told it was...
Amazing, was it not?
Said some pony behind us. I turned around and saw a ghostly mare. She had a large number of leaf-resembling ornaments in her mane, which was slightly darker than the rest of her body. The mare was wearing tiny glasses and looked much older than the other ghosts.
Are you going to just stand there?
She said to Whitetail, then gracefully raised her hoof and pointed towards me.
Or perhaps you can introduce me to your lovely companion.
Of course.
The stallion frowned.
Let me present our guest of honor, Rarity. Please meet the Duchess Arietta de Foy. She's my...
I am so glad that you finally found such a charming mare. You make a wonderful couple, you know.
Arietta interrupted.
Mother, please.
Whitetail said.
You're embarrassing me.
So Duchess Arietta was Whitetail's mother. While the rules of high society apply to ghosts as well, it is important to stay on good terms with her.
It is an honor, madam.
I bowed my head at the mare.
Such a lovely, well-bred mare.
Arietta seemed content.
You look absolutely charming, dear. Wading through the Everfree Forest must have completely disarranged my makeup.
I replied.
So I suppose a mirror would say otherwise. At least it would say anything.
The Duchess sighed sadly.
I'd give everything to see my reflection in the mirror once again, and you may call me vain. There was nothing vain in a desire of looking good.
I assured.
Well, being bodiless has several disadvantages. The food does not taste anymore. Everything smells so feeble and weak. Wherever you go, you are.
Although Arietta obviously wanted to continue, Whitetail rolled his eyes, took her hoof and turned her attention away from me.
Mother, is it Uncle Strong back there? I think he really needs your advice about, something.
He said, then whispered quickly in my direction.
I'm sorry, she's quite talkative. I'll catch you later.
The stallion pulled Arietta through the crowd, leaving me in the middle of the ballroom with no pony to turn to. It was not an issue for me. I had a gift of entering a party, knowing no pony, and leaving the party, knowing every pony. So I went into the crowd. I spent the next hour chatting with the ghost, and searching for a mirror, of course. I pondered upon Whitetail's name, and I learned that no pony heard of such a place as Whitetail Woods, which suggested it hasn't been yet named in their time. It felt really odd to be on the ghostly party. I could not eat or drink their treats, neither could I sit on the chairs, as I was facing through everything built of the blue glowing matter. I saw Whitetail approaching me.
Please forgive my mother.
The stallion said.
She doesn't know when to stop.
It's fine, really.
The musicians began to play the fast-paced waltz, and ghosts started forming pairs.
Would you like to...
Whitetail began.
Would you care?
I'd love to.
I replied. Then we trotted to the dance floor. The stallion smiled and bowed, to which I responded with a lady-like nod, and I danced, a pony amongst the ghosts. Nightmare night, half hour to midnight. The ethereal clock struck the hour. It was 11:30. I decided it was time for me to leave, partly because it was getting late, partly due to the lack of mirrors. It was torment, really.
I had a great time, but I really should get going.
I said to Duke Whitetail.
Oh no, please, stay with us until midnight.
He replied firmly.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
And took a step towards the door, but the ghostly stallion blocked my path. Something was wrong. Music stopped playing. The pony ceased talking, and I felt the stairs across the ballroom.
I insist.
Whitetail made it clear. His voice was no longer soft. It sounded harsh and metallic. The ghost began to slowly walk towards me and Whitetail.
You cannot hold me against my will.
I shouted, feeling insecure.
You're just incorporeal spirits. We both know that.
I trotted against the line of ponies that formed between me and the exit. When I was about to sink through the glowing ponies, I bounced off.
What? By Celestia, what is going on?
I said. The uncertainty turned into anger and fear.
Since when are you corporeal?
Duchess Arietta laughed.
Oh, sweet and naive Rarity.
Spectral Mare exclaimed.
Do you really think that we would ever let go our guest of honor?
We enjoy your company so much that you will stay with us.
Whitetail took off his top hat and made a dramatic gesture.
For eternity.
Try it, punk.
I quickly looked around and found a weak spot in the tightening circle of ghostly ponies. I ran for it, then jumped on the long table. I didn't understand how, but it seemed that I could now touch the ethereal matter, as if it was fully physical. Why did it become so tangible? I reached the end of the ballroom and opened the nearest doors with my magic, and slammed them forcefully.
Bring her to me!
Shouted the Duchess. I never thought I could run so fast. I galloped across the courtyard, leaving the ghost behind. I wasn't sure where to go, so I dashed around the partially destroyed marble fountain, only to keep the distance. I looked behind and saw dozens of ghosts facing through the walls and doors of the keep. They were chanting something dire and unsettling.
This is unfair!
I yelled.
Can't you decide?
I leaped through a large broken window back into the building. My heart was beating faster than ever before. Where to now? With the ghosts pursued behind, there was only one way, forward. I ran through the corridor full of vertical drawings in ornamented frames. Suddenly, dead end. Almost as there was a stairway to my left, I saw a blue stampede, cutting my way out at the other end of the corridor. Up we go, then. The spiral staircase led me to the top of the castle's tower. That was a real dead end, as there was only one stained glass window with the view of the foggy chasm way below. There was also few items in the chamber, covered with silk veils. I sat in the middle of the room and cried. Sure, I always wanted to be part of high society, but this one time, I'd rather be rejected. The ghost pack led by Whitetail and his mother was getting closer. Hoofbeats were louder, and the chanting became clearer.
Join us and celebrate, Philly and Foal, for you are now safe, and so is your soul.
It was terrifying how words of the beautiful story were turned into a nightmarish moan. Whitetail got to the top first. He raised his hoof and the ghosts stopped their chant.
Tell her.
Arietta ordered.
There is no escape, Rarity.
He said, taking off the hat and holding it at his chest.
But since you got here, you do deserve some answers. There is an intact mirror under this veil.
It sounded peculiar, as every ghost pony claimed there was no mirror in the whole castle. I walked towards the stand, grabbed the silken veil, and looked in the mirror. That was no reflection of mine. I glanced behind and saw the group of ghosts. I stared in the mirror again and saw the chamber as it were, yet completely empty.
I don't understand.
You see,
Whitetail approached and whispered to my ear.
you're already part of us. There's nothing to be afraid of, Rarity.
I refused to believe. I didn't want to accept but what I saw, or rather didn't see, was perfectly real. Or it wasn't. It was difficult to tell. Whitetail took on his top hat and went back to the ghostly crowd.
Join us and celebrate, Philly and Foal.
He said softly, and reached his hoof towards me.
For now you are safe, and so is your soul.
Maybe it was, since it was apparently a ghost. My soul was all I've left. My mind was shattered due to this craziness, and my body... Well, ghosts did not need bodies, right? A body? Then I realized. I looked towards the window. I could easily reach it in 1-2 jumps top. Ghosts couldn't die as a result of a fall, could they? What if this is all just a trick, and I'm still a pony, flesh and blood? I'd surely end crashing myself at the bottom of the chasm. That was a long way down, but I had to act fast. I had no idea what to do. Nightmare night. Few minutes to midnight. They say that Nightmare Night is a time when walls between the physical world and the realm of wicked phantasms are weak and fragile. They also say that sometimes a pony might even cross boundaries between those two, although such phenomenon is a rarity. But if said pony did and not return to her physical self by midnight, she'll be trapped in the ghostly realm forever. Rarity's body was lying at the bottom of the foggy chasm, surrounded by bleached skulls and bones of those who tried to reach the ancient castle of the royal pony sisters, but failed. One would very easily miss her white coat in the dreadful image, for her beautiful purple mane and tail clearly stood out against the background. Her eyes were closed, as if she was peacefully sleeping, but her breath was fading. The end.